All right, everybody, thank you for coming to my presentation. The Life and Times of Edward John Ivanac III. Let's start with why you're here. You're here to learn about how a young kid from Garden City ended up becoming a teacher for robotics students, an aspiring engineer, and a future Wolverine. Go blue.
Woo woo!
Let's start with my name. You might be a little confused why a guy named Ted is presenting a guy named Edward. They're all the same thing. My dad can attest to that. So can these guys. They're also the only example I could think of for that. And the reason why you don't know them is because you probably never will.
You didn't know their names was Edward.
I was born in St. Joseph's Hospital in Ann Arbor, a case of real-life foreshadowing that we'll see later on. I was raised in Garden City. I went to Garden City schools until my 8th grade. After 8th grade, I was switched into the Wayne Westline School District and came to Wayne Memorial. It was the best decision that my parents ever made for me. Speaking of my parents, I live with my mom, my dad, and my younger brother, Gus. I also have an older brother who lives in Bridgman. He has his own family. I also have an older sister who has her own family who also lives in Bridgman. They're a little far away, so I don't get to see them a lot, but I really appreciate it when I do get to see them. I just want to take this moment to thank my parents for everything that they've done to me and for me. I also want to thank them for influencing me so much. No two people have made me who I am more than they have, and I'm incredibly grateful to have them as my parents. And no, I'm not cracking. When I came to Wayne Memorial, I started with some very easy classes. I was more of a B student because that's all I thought I needed to do. I figured I wasn't failing, so why did I need to get A's? Why do I need to work as hard as I could? Then after my sophomore year, I realized I wanted more out of my education. I wanted to do better. So I decided to do better. I took my first AP class, and I loved it. I was incredibly grateful for the experiences I had in that class. And because of that, I decided I was going to take more AP classes. In my senior year, I took 3, something that I didn't think I was ever going to be able to do. I also decided to take a big focus on science and mathematics because I realized that that was what I wanted my career to be, so I figured I should start early. And because of that, I was able to get into my favorite class that I've ever had, my most valuable class, AP Physics. That class was very valuable to me because it taught me the math behind how the world works, and it was very, very intriguing. My GPA is a 3.8. I worked very hard for it. When I was a freshman, it was a 3.4, so I worked very hard to increase it. I've had a 4.0 for the last 4 semesters, which is something I never thought I was going to be able to do. And the only reason that I was able to get those 4.0s and get to a 3.8 is because of my biggest academic strength, and that is my work ethic. It's because I worked hard at it. I knew that if I could work hard, then I could do anything, and I did. I got the GPA that I wanted, and I got the grades that I wanted. On the other hand, I do have some academic weaknesses. We all do. And I'm willing to admit them because I know that I can work on them. In literature, I have a hard time understanding the deeper meanings behind text. Sometimes I just don't get them. And in math, I'm sure Mr. Freeman can attest to this a little bit. Sometimes I try to do problems, I try to do them the wrong way. I try to do them, and it creates way too much work for me. And these are problems that I've had for a while, and they're problems that I keep having, but they're something that I am going to keep working on and keep building on as I finish out my senior year and as I go into college, because I know that it's an issue that I need to keep working on. My most valuable assignment was the famous fall lab that I did in my most valuable class, AP Physics. The point behind the fall lab was to take a historic fall. The historic fall that I chose was the fall of the Hopa meteorite, which is the largest meteorite to ever struck Earth. And I figured out a bunch of calculations behind it, including the force of impact and the speed it was going as it was falling through the air. This assignment was very influential to me because it showed that I could research things and I could figure them out like I would need to in my future career. It also I was very happy with the grade that I got in that assignment, probably my best grade that I ever got in the lab. And my instructor commended me for thinking outside the box because he said nobody had ever done that lab on a meteorite. To talk a little about my extracurriculars, I want to start with Upper Bound. Upper Bound changed how I viewed my classes. It changed how I worked and how much I worked. It also allowed me to get some great test prep, which got me some really, really good scores that I'm really proud of. I was able to meet some great mentors, and I created a great connection with them. And most importantly, Upper Bound helped me apply to several colleges, including my dream college, U of M, that I'll be attending in the fall. Another extracurricular that I have participated in for several years was Champions. The incentive that Champions provided me was a great motivating factor towards getting my first 4.0 and continuing to get 4.0s. Another great benefit of Champions was that I was able to connect with several great teachers, including my current champion, Mrs. Bauer, who's been my champion for about 2 years now. The most influential extracurricular I've been in is the robotics team. I joined my freshman year and I've been on it since. I've held 3 positions, build captain and business captain. My sophomore year, I did both of those at the exact same time. And my junior and senior year, I was the president of the robotics team. Being on the robotics team helped me realize that I loved doing engineering. I loved building and creating, and I realized that that was the career that I wanted to have. Also, being the president, being a captain allowed me to get some great leadership skills that I was able to use outside of the team. And I was able to get some great academic skills in science and math that I could then use in the classroom. Robotics also helped me create several volunteer opportunities for myself and for other people. I created 3 robotics teams in younger schools, 2 at Franklin Middle School and 1 at Hoover Elementary. I was able to take the knowledge that I had and my love of robotics, and I was able to bring that to younger students. Because of that, I think that this is probably the greatest achievement that I've ever made. I will continue to volunteer with robotics teams in that same capacity as I move into college and as I continue after college. Although maybe not immediately, because academics is always coming first to me. I want to be able to cement all that first. I've also volunteered at other places such as Jefferson Barnes Community Center and Hype Recreation Center. It's a really good thing that I started those teams because I was able to make a job out of it. At Bright Futures at Schweitzer Elementary, I am the robotics club vendor, which is effectively just a person that comes and teaches them about robotics, so I get to do what I love and what I've done for free at other schools, but this time I get to get paid for it, so win-win. I've gotten several awards for my extracurriculars, including Upper Bound and robotics. I've also gotten a lot of academic awards, but the award that I would give myself is something that I'm very passionate about, and that is being a robotics teacher, being the best robotics teacher, because I think that it is something that I probably do best, and I think it's the thing that I do better than anything else I've ever done. And it's something that I hope that I will get to do for the rest of my life. I'm very proud to say that the majority of my cost of attendance at U of M is paid for by gift aid. The chart shows the breakdown of that. And you may be wondering what the giant blue part of it is. That's my full tuition scholarship to U of M, the HAIL Scholarship. HAIL stands for High Achieving Involved Leaders, which leads me to believe that I got it from my work in robotics. Other notable scholarships that I have been given were the Trustee Scholarship at Kettering University and the Rocket Nation Scholarship at University of Toledo. When it comes to testing, I had one goal. I just wanted to improve my scores after each test that I took. And I did that. I took the SAT and the ACT twice. They were grueling, but I knew that as long as I did my best, I could improve my scores, and I did. I worked really hard at it, and every time I took the test, I was able to improve. These graphs don't show a huge improvement, but it's an improvement. That was my goal, and I achieved it. If I were to give any sort of advice to someone who's about to take the SAT or the ACT, the one thing I would tell them is to just work hard at it. Just keep working at it, because you can be as smart and as talented as you want to be. If you don't work hard at it, it's not going to pan out the way you want it to. For the last 3 summers, I participated in the Upper Bound Summer Program. This program had a significant impact on me, on what I wanted to be after high school, what I wanted to do after high school, and the type of person that I wanted to be. I was also given the opportunity to job shadow and this past summer, I job shadowed 2 engineers, one computer science and one electrical. That electrical engineer is now a very close personal mentor of mine, who I'm actually working on an engineering project with. The experiences that I got in the Upper Bound Summer program have been some of the best, some that I never thought I was going to be able to do, such as going to DNR or visiting the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Funny story about that photo where my best friend Cameron and I are sitting on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame sign. We didn't really have a way to get down from there, so we did a controlled descent, which is just us throwing ourselves off the beat. For all of my mentors, I just wanted to recognize everybody because they have, in their own way, all impacted me in some way. This isn't necessarily everybody, but it is some of the people that I feel have really closely impacted me. For robotics, my mentors, Mr. Barnett, Mr. Heinrich, Mr. Castellini, Mr. Simons, Joshua Johnson, and Naman Chaudhry have all taught me a lot about robotics and have helped me learn more about my passion. In Upper Bound, pretty much all the staff that's ever worked with me, Mrs. D, Mrs. Hanson, Mrs. Spangler, and Mrs. Moore, have all helped me pursue my college dreams. In Champions, Mr. Gray and Mr. Brown, the engineering mentor that I have been working with, have all helped me work towards my future career goals. And the teachers that I really, really enjoyed being in their class and have learned a lot from are Miss Fox, Mrs. King, Mr. Freeman, Mr. Rick, and Ms. Bauer. In the fall, I'll be going to U of M to study electrical engineering. I am excited to say that I chose this mostly because of the financial aid package, but also because it has a large proximity to home. I'm able to still spend time with my family if I go there, and it also gives me some great opportunities. One such opportunity is the M-Engine program that I was accepted to about a month ago. And I will be attending that program starting in June. I like to call it the Engineering Upper Bound because it is so similar to Upper Bound and will allow me to sort of ease my way into college. I chose my major because of what I love to do in robotics. That was the thing that I love to do the most, and also because of the job shadowing that I did at Upper Bound. I have also decided on my career, or at least what I think I really want my career to be. And that is to work with NASA, building space probes and satellites so that I can help explore other planets and explore the vast unknowns of the universe, the vast unknowns of the universe. I decided this career mostly because it's really what I wanted to do since age 10, is just explore other planets. Upper Bound helped me decide that career. It helped me decide which school I'm going to go to. It helped me get into that school. Literally everything on this slide was because of Upper Bound. So I'm incredibly grateful to be in this program. I want to thank you all for coming to my TED Talk and for supporting me. I look forward to my next 4 years in Ann Arbor, and I hope that I can impact whatever community I end up in the same way the community here has impacted me.